Have you ever wondered if scientists could actually bring a dinosaur back to life using its DNA? Movies like Jurassic Park made the idea seem so believable that many people still think all we need is a tiny sample of dinosaur DNA to recreate creatures like Tyrannosaurus Rex or Velociraptor. But how much of that is real science, and how much belongs in Hollywood? To answer that question, we have to go back about 66 million years, when a massive asteroid impact led to the extinction of the non-avian dinosaurs. Since then, their remains have spent millions of years buried underground, exposed to pressure, heat, water, and countless chemical reactions. One of the biggest misconceptions is that dinosaur fossils still contain their original bones. In reality, most fossils are made when minerals slowly replace the original biological material. What we see in museums today is usually a rock replica of the original bone, meaning the cells and the DNA inside them are long gone. This is where science and science fiction take very different paths. In Jurassic Park, scientists extract dinosaur DNA from mosquitoes trapped in amber. It's a brilliant movie concept, but in the real world, it doesn't hold up. Even if a mosquito were perfectly preserved in amber, its DNA would slowly break down over time. Research suggests that DNA has a limited lifespan, and even under ideal conditions, it cannot survive for tens of millions of years. Long before 66 million years pass, the genetic information would be too damaged to recover. But let's imagine an impossible scenario. Suppose scientists somehow discovered dinosaur DNA. Would that be enough? Not even close. Finding a few fragments of DNA is like discovering a handful of burned pages from a 1,000-page book. To recreate an animal, scientists need the complete genome, billions of genetic letters arranged in exactly the right order. Even tiny errors can prevent an embryo from developing properly.
You might think that artificial intelligence or genetic engineering could simply fill in the missing pieces. While modern technology can't predict small gaps in DNA sequences, it cannot accurately guess millions or billions of missing genetic letters from an extinct animal. At that point, scientists wouldn't be rebuilding a dinosaur. They would be creating an entirely new organism based on educated guesses. Even if researchers somehow possessed a complete dinosaur genome, another enormous challenge would remain. What animal could carry and develop a dinosaur embryo? Dinosaurs no longer exist, so there is no living mother to lay or incubate the egg. The closest living relatives of dinosaurs are birds. In fact, modern birds are direct descendants of small theropod dinosaurs. However, the size difference between a chicken and something like Tyrannosaurus Rex is so extreme that using a bird's egg to grow a giant dinosaur is essentially impossible. Interestingly, many scientists aren't actually trying to clone dinosaurs at all. Instead, they're exploring something even more fascinating: bringing back ancient dinosaur traits in modern birds. By studying bird embryos and switching certain genes on or off, researchers have produced experimental embryos with features that resemble their dinosaur ancestors, such as longer tails, modified feet, or changes in skull structure. The goal isn't to create a real dinosaur, but to better understand how evolution transformed dinosaurs into the birds we see today. This research reveals something surprising. Dinosaurs never completely disappeared. Every pigeon, eagle, chicken, and ostrich alive today belongs to the same evolutionary family that once ruled the Earth. In a very real sense, birds are living dinosaurs, carrying millions of years of evolutionary history inside their DNA.
So, does that mean bringing dinosaurs back is completely impossible? Science rarely says never. Technologies like CRISPR gene editing, cloning, and synthetic biology continue to advance at an incredible pace. One day, scientists may be able to engineer an animal that closely resembles a dinosaur in appearance and behavior. But that's very different from resurrecting an authentic Tyrannosaurus or Velociraptor that lived millions of years ago. For now, the biggest obstacle isn't technology, it's time itself. The original dinosaur DNA has almost certainly disappeared forever. So while the dream of walking alongside a living T-Rex remains one of science fiction's greatest fantasies, the science behind genetics and evolution is becoming more incredible every year. Ironically, if you want to see the closest thing to a living dinosaur today, you don't need a time machine. Just look at the birds flying overhead. They're the last surviving branch of an ancient dynasty that once dominated our planet.